¿Qué onda, vatos locos? It's your boy Dave in the 702 coming at you for Wednesday night's Tailgate Talk NFL Week 8. Joining me as always is my co-host from the city of brotherly love. Fly Eagles, fly Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie? What's going on?
What's up, Dave?
Well, I wish I could say we had the same record, but things aren't looking too good. Shout out to everybody just joining us in the room. I appreciate y'all. Paul Martinez. I see Jose El Compita says, Shoeshine, how can we lose to the Vikings? How did we lose to the Vikings? And guys, right off the bat, I got to just tell you, Drew, you didn't know why I have to find out through the internet that Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol and that whatever happened to him in that fourth quarter, right before he started throwing all those picks, they've put him on protocol. And you've seen how long Jimmy G's been in concussion protocol. Looks like Jimmy G will be returning this Sunday to the Raiders game. I'm hopeful that he will be coming back after the bye. There are no byes this week. Week 8, everybody's got to play. But unfortunately for us, Drew, the Bengals are coming off an extended rest. And Bengals are a dangerous team nonetheless at 3-3. They're dangerous. They're well rested. The coach Shanahan said there's a sliver of hope Purdy might play this. But, the fact that we just played on Monday night, Drew, I'm not too hopeful.
It's on track that Sam Darnold, the backup's going to start. He was drafted by the Jets. He was starter for the Carolina Panthers and everything, and stuff didn't work out for him. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but hey, we can say one thing: Eagles dominated the number one ranked pass offense, number one rush offense, and the number one overall offense in the NFL, the Dolphins. And here's the thing: I'm going to put up some statistics.
Please do.
On this game and everything. The Dolphins average a total of 534 yards a game. That is number one in the NFL.
Can you say that again?
Offense.
Can you say that again?
The Dolphins average 534 yards of total offense.
Is that because of the
NFL.
one game where they had 70 points racked up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they average over 300 yards of passing offense, which is number one in the league. And they average 181 rushing yards a game, which is number one in the league. The Eagles ranked number 2 in total rush defense, and they're in the middle of the pack in pass defense. Well, let's look at this, what happened. The Eagles defeated the Miami Dolphins 31-17. They held Tua Tagovailoa, whoever his name is, from his average of almost 350 yards a game to only 214 on the air. Now the Dolphins' offense is number one in rushing at 181 yards. The Eagles' defense held them to only 45 yards rushing. and they held the Dolphins, which averaged a league best 534 yards a game, to only 244 total yards. They completely kept.
True. For those that follow the Shoe Shine on Monday nights, our boxing recap show, the Dolphins were just overrated. Maybe the Dolphins are just overrated. Nonetheless, they're 5-2. They're sitting on top pretty of the AFC East. Chiefs are 6-1, the only other team. Rhonda. By the way, my friend Rhonda, you guys may know her. She's a friend of the show. She will be dating. Yeah, if you follow the replay, Rhonda, she will be possibly. Well, no, she's going on a date with a Niners fan, a hardcore Niners fan, this weekend, Drew.
Wow. I did not know.
I told her, let me give you some friendly advice. Do not bring up Patrick Mahomes or the Chiefs on your date with a hardcore, diehard Niners fan. Just don't. I mean, just maybe wait a few dates and then you can get into football discussion. And I know you're going out with them on Sunday, but still, don't talk about Patrick Mahomes to a diehard Niners fan on a first date. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Drew, you have some hot rumors. There's going on. Obviously, nobody's out of bye this week, and we're getting into close to halfway through the season. So trade rumors are going to be abundant. I know we picked up a player from the Eagles. We picked up an Eagles player on the 49ers, and he's been making an impact on our team. Is that right? Or am I tripping?
He's been making an impact with Gerard Hargrave, but I'll be honest with you right now. The Eagles haven't been playing their best football yet. And they're slowly starting to get there. And their defense, this is like the fourth straight game they held an opponent under 300 total yards. And that is telling you one thing. That defense is coming alive and that offense is getting better. A.J. Brown has 5 straight 125-plus receiving yard games, and he's almost had 1,000 yards. He's second in the league in receptions. But here's the thing. The Eagles just got better yesterday. The Eagles just got a hell of a lot better because they made a trade with the Tennessee Titans for a 2-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro safety, Pro Bowl safety, Kevin Byron. This guy leads the all-active defensive back in interceptions with 27.
Man, nice job.
2016.
Nice job, Eagles. And I'll tell you what, I've been real disappointed with the last two the past 2 games for the 49ers. The stellar defense is not showing up to play. And they could have absolutely put away that other team that just beat us by a missed field goal. They could have put that team away, but they didn't. And last week didn't look too good either or promising. And I know Trent Williams on our team is still out, a very pivotal player. Nice pick, Drew. Nice pick. I'm hoping the Niners can get a new field goal kicker.
But here's the thing. They approached this trade talk this past offseason, and the Titans wanted a third-round pick for him. But here's the thing. Then we engaged in trade talks for him and everything. Guess what they only gave up for him? They gave up a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and an expiring contract in safety Terrell Edmonds. But here's the thing. Those 2 picks that they gave the Titans were not their picks. They got them in trades with other teams. They still got their picks. And I'll tell you this right now. This makes the Eagles a lot better now in defense. Their secondary was banged up, but now their secondary is a lot better now because they got a Pro Bowl safety there now, along with Slay and Bradbury. And he's better than C.J. Gardner-Johnson from last year, way better. But here's the other things. There's other things right now. There's trade rooms and everything. Because the trade deadline is next week and everything. And we're seeing right now that teams are becoming sellers that they don't see themselves being able to be in win now mode, and they're not good, and they're losing draft capital. So if you look at the Titans have been actively shopping DeAndre Hopkins, which they signed in the offseason to a 2-year, $26 million contract. He has a lot more left. He's one of the top receivers still. And Derrick Henry, their star running back. And here's the messed up thing. They now have to look to trade these two for draft capital because Titans barely have any draft capital. And here's the messed up thing. There are little to no interest is being showed in these two. They have called around the league to see if anybody was interested for them. There was little to no interest in them. So the Titans are at a rough spot now, and they might have to take a lot less for these two and everything. But here's the other thing: you got like if you're looking for pass rush help, the Niners need little bit of pass rush help. If I look at it, don't you think so, Dave?
Oh no, they absolutely do. I'm not gonna front on that one. By the way, Drew, Nando here is just he's cracking me up, bro. He says I got more faith in that kicker working out than Purdy. Sorry, Drew. I'm gonna tell you right before the show started, I saw a major article hit the press, and it said, "Are NFL fans actively rooting for Brock Purdy to fail?" So I think there's a lot of people. I think even Nando is potentially one of these people rooting for Purdy to fail. We'll get to that, man. Is he a system quarterback or is he something, is he really a star? Is he a system quarterback or is he a star? They're trying to say he got exposed, Drew. They're trying to say he's been exposed in the past 2 weeks.
I think he has. Because here's the thing. When you lose weapons, you see if you can elevate the people around you to be better and to make plays. He has yet to done that. And other players that they thought were system quarterbacks, and had to be under that same thing. Some of them actually proved that they are as good as they say they are, like Jalen Hurts. He lost some of his players before he was tested, and he elevated the people around him, and they were able to have success still and everything. So let's look at it like this. So you guys need teams like you need pass rush help. So how you look at it, the Panthers got an outside linebacker, Brian Burns, that they willing to trade because Panthers are 0-6. They're not going anywhere. They're rebuilding anything. Brian Burns has been there for a while. He's a hell of a good player, wants to win.
He don't deserve to be on such a crappy team.
Yeah. And here's another thing. The Washington Commanders. They have
who you guys are playing, by the way. Why are you guys doing a rematch so quick? What's going on with this rematch? And by the way, guys, Drew, you did go into overtime with them in a very close, scary potential loss.
But here's the thing. That was like 3 or 4 games ago. Now, it makes a difference now. This Eagles team is being more putting guys away and everything. They looked at what happened to that Jets game and it gave them motivation and pissed them off. Like, they beat themselves in that game. Jets didn't beat them. There's nothing that Jets did. They beat themselves, and they pissed them off, and they had to show a point and prove a point, and they did it. And even though the defense showed up and held the Jets on a 250 yards total offense that game. But look at it like this. You got the Commanders. They're probably going to look at trying to move Chase Young, Marquez Sweat, the defensive ends, maybe Jonathan Allen, put about moving them too. The Vikings, outside linebacker, Dale Hunter. These guys could be traded, and the teams that could really use pass rush help, the Niners, the Jags, the Ravens, the Seahawks. These are teams that are playoff teams right now that can benefit to improve their defense, especially their pass rush and everything. And the Ravens are in the top 5 in total defense as it is right now. Well, let's look at it like this. Do I see any of these trades happening? I can see Chase Young being moved. I can see the Commanders unloading. I can see the Vikings becoming sellers after maybe they see how it depends how they do this week and everything. And the Titans are sellers. The Titans are going to be sellers. And you're going to see the Panthers are going to be sellers to trade some of the people away. These are teams, even the Bears, if you look at it. But I look at it like this. We'll see if in the next week or two where this goes and what teams become sellers, what teams really think they'll move away from being on that next level. And we'll see like this. I think the Eagles aren't done yet. I think the Eagles could explode maybe getting a linebacker at the deadline, which would be beneficial to them, or maybe, but they've been linked to another corner also. They've been linked to Patrick Surtain II from Denver. And if they get him, oh shit, you people are this second day, these corners, there's gonna be a corner built for years in the Eagles, because the Eagles are not only built to win now, but they're built to win in the next 5 years too. And that's what's great and the moves that Howie Rose's been making. But here's the thing. It's halfway through the season almost.
Almost.
And there's coaches that are on the hot seat.
Yeah, let's get to that. What coaches are on the hot seat? Because there's some teams that are a hot mess. Cardinals. You got to get to me. Let me know who these coaches are.
These are who I have on the hot seat, in my opinion. Ron Rivera is the coach of the Washington Commanders. They're 3-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's made the playoffs once in his tenure as Washington head coach. But here's the thing: they were 6-9-1 when they made the playoffs. They were under 500 division winner when they made the playoffs. Even though they had a good showing, but after that, they haven't been that good. Like, they drafted to make their defense better and everything. You think, hey, they're going to eventually be better because they've been drafting good pieces for their defense. They still have Terry McLaurin and everything. Issue for them is finding their guy at quarterback. The Washington Commanders could never find no quarterback and everything. I look at the 3-4 right now. And after this past game that they lost to the Giants, they were 1-5.
Right. Now 2-5.
There's a lot of teams, a lot of the players were frustrated. Named their frustration. Even the ownership, Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, and everything. These guys just bought the Commanders this year. So you know how new ownership wants to make an impact right away.
They want to clean
house.
Want to
do something. So now, Ron Rivera is on the hot seat, in my opinion. And I'll be honest with you, this game, he may be coaching for his job. I think if the Eagles
think they would get rid of him halfway through the season?
If the Eagles blow out the Commanders this weekend, Ron Rivera will be fired. And I'm telling you this right now. He's already been blown out by an 0-4 team at home in Chicago. He's already lost to the Giants. He's lost to a couple of teams he should have beaten already after that 2-0 start. I just think he's coaching for his job, and unfortunately, he's in a bad situation right now. Now, that Elbow Floss, whatever the fuck his name is, from Chicago Bears, he's, of course, on the hot seat. They're 2-5. But here's the thing. They had the most cap space at the end of that last year. They were going to be buyers. They were going to pay people. And figured that this is the year they were going to make the playoffs, take that step with Justin Fields and everything. It started 0-4, went 2-5. Justin Fields didn't play this game. And the thing about it is, this coach does not know how to use Justin Fields. They're in Justin Fields as an organization and everything. And this team is going to look at this guy as a possible scapegoat. They might even move on from Justin Fields after this season and draft Caleb Williams next year. To me, I think he will be going after the season. I think Ron Rivera will be going after the season. But if he gets blown out by the Eagles this weekend, he's going that week. Now, Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach. He was given the team by Bruce Arians. He was the defensive coordinator of a Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay defense. They're 3-3, but they lost 2 straight games. They were 8-9 at the end of last year. Won a division below 500 team, but they were blown out by the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game at home. No Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield is playing okay football for them. They lost 2 straight, one home game to the Falcons this weekend. Tom Bowles is on the hot seat, in my opinion. I can see him, if he does not make this any better, I can see them possibly trading Mike Evans at the deadline too. I can see him getting fired if they don't make the playoffs. Frank Wright, he got hired this season by Carolina. They're 0-6. I can see. I don't think I can see them going nowhere, but he is going to be on the hot seat because they're 0-6. But ultimately, I think they might give him another year to see where he's giving up play calling duties. But let's see where that goes. They're going to be sellers at the deadline, I predict. But here's one thing. Josh McDaniels of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Somebody mentioned him too.
I'm not sorry, but the Las Vegas Raiders are a mess. And the drafting is very questionable. I really kind of did not think it was the right thing to do, is trading all that draft capital for Devontae Adams and giving him that contract and everything. You do have pieces on that team that if you decide to be sellers and everything, even on the defensive end and everything. But rumors are going out, the whole locker room hates Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is very hated. And if you look at the situation he had in Denver, made the playoffs one year in Denver, going 9-7, winning a playoff game. But after that, he was total garbage. And he's not a good head coach. The 3-4, I can see the Raiders part with him. And the thing about it, look at it like this. He should have been fired last year, but they invested so much money in Josh McDaniels, they could not fire him because they would have to pay him all that money. So you wouldn't be paying him that much money after this year if you fire him after this year. So he might be fired, Dave. So
yeah, I won't be surprised.
Brandon Staley, the Chargers head coach, they're 2-4. You just get Justin Herbert that big contract and everything, which I tell you the truth, I don't think he kind of did it. I'm really questioning about Justin Herbert getting that contract yet. He hasn't really won. He's been in one playoff game, and his team blew a 28-7 lead last year. So I really think that if the Chargers don't make the playoffs, and they're bothered by injuries, they're always bothered by injuries. The Chargers, they always have the injury bug.
2-4 with the Chiefs sitting atop of the division. Wild card team.
I think Brandon Staley will be fired at the end of the year.
Another one.
But here's my last coach that I think is on the hot seat, and people are going to be very surprised that I put him on the hot seat. Sean McDermott, the Buffalo Bills head coach. They're sitting at 4-3 right now. He's been in the playoffs every year. He's been in 2 AFC title games. He's lost them both. Last year, he had a disappointing exit when Cincinnati destroyed them in Buffalo. Josh Allen, his best thing is being known for taking the Chiefs to overtime just to lose at Arrowhead. John McDermott has a lot of heat on him right now because if they don't make a deep playoff run, he's done. They're 4-3. They lost the two teams that are under 500. The Jets and the Patriots. They lost to a backup quarterback, and they lost to a 1-5 Patriots team this past weekend that's been struggling. And Josh Allen, he's overrated. Like, he's turned into a gunslinger, turnover machine and everything.
Oh, you're going to get the Bills Mafia pissed off, Drew.
Like, who gives a fuck about the Bills Mafia? Who gives a fuck about Bills fans, period? Because to tell you the truth, you guys really have done nothing with what you have. You guys should have at least made a Super Bowl in these 5 years, and you haven't. So Sean McDermott, I don't think they're going to be make a deep playoff run. I think Sean McDermott's going to lose his job at the end of the year. I think they need a new. They're going to say a new voice has to be heard, and there's going to be changes made to that Bills team and everything. So there's my 7 coaches that are on the. You're going to be making 8 with Mac LaFleur from Green Bay and everything. You
throw him in the mix too. 7 to 8 coaches potentially fired either mid-season or at the end of the year. I agree with you on the Raiders. They need a big shakeup. You ready to get to the picks?
Yeah, but here's a question, Dave.
Yeah.
One question. Out of all these coaches I mentioned, which one of these coaches have the best chance to turn their season around? Mine is Sean McDermott because he actually is above 500.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. I got faith that if Jimmy G comes back and then you got Adams healthy, that they can win. They could definitely play above 500 ball the second half of the season and potentially get into a wild card situation. Not that they go all the way or anything like that, but a healthy Jimmy G can be dangerous. He's proven to get you up into the playoffs. I think that they've got a decent chance if he comes back and looks good this Sunday at picking up a potential wild card spot.
I think if any of these coaches are going to turn around, I don't think it's going to be Todd Bowles. I think Tampa Bay sits at 3-3. They're in a winnable division. They're only 1 game back. Yeah, I know they lost 2 straight games, but here's the thing.
And they got a bye coming up too to rest.
Yeah, they take them as far as Baker could take them, but I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can turn this around, possibly win this division, or possibly a wild card spot. I think out of these teams, Bucs have the best chance.
Oh, the Buccaneers.
Look at it like this. You still got the Saints. You still got Atlanta. Atlanta has a top 5 defense. Saints are up and down. So is Tampa. And Tampa and Atlanta was neck and neck. I think Tampa Bay has the best chance. I think Ron Rivera probably is fired after this week because I just don't see it and everything. Mike Vrabel from the Titans may leave after this year, depending on how this is dealt with at the deadline and everything. But we'll see. So as you say, Dave, let's get to the fucking picks.
Sin City Syndicate just dropped this. He said the only outside looking in team to make the playoffs is the Bengals. Buy the futures now. And judging from the comments that I've been seeing in a lot of the previews for the 49ers versus Bengals and reading up, Drew, it looked like a lot of people early in the season thought that the Bengals are a Super Bowl quality team this year, and that this game coming up with the 49ers and the Bengals is a sneak peek into what should have been or could potentially have been 2 Super Bowl quality teams. So,
I said the issue with the Bengals was their offensive line and everything. They didn't do much to improve it and everything. Burrow keeps getting hit and everything. He's been hit a lot in the past couple years, and they made it far in the playoffs. It takes a toll on you. I don't know. The division is too good this year. It might get the teams might slowly get eliminated in time, like the Steelers, those 4-2. The Browns are 4-2. Browns have the number 1 overall defense, but Watson's playing everything. He's up and down. He's not consistent. He's always getting hurt. And you got the Ravens that are top 5 defense. You got Lamar Jackson, and they just came off a big win over Detroit, 38-6, and everything. So it's possibly could be going for the best division in football. So, but they're sitting at 3. They're sitting at 3-3, the Bengals. So we can only see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. That being said, let's get into Thursday night football tomorrow night. Drew says that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have one of the best chances of turning around their season, and it could start tomorrow with what is a highly overrated Josh Allen to you, but the Buffalo Bills are the favorite, -9 favorites here. They got the over 43 points. The money line is negative 440 for the Bills. Damn, the sports books really think the Buffalo Bills are going to run right over the Buccaneers. Can the Buccaneers start turning their season around tomorrow night?
No,
Not against the Bills.
I'm thinking the Bills win at home, and I think the Bills win possibly maybe 34-17.
Well, that would definitely cover the over 43.
Bills over Bucks. I'll take the -9.
All right, well, that definitely seems like the safe bet. And you know what, Drew? Come the second part of the season, we're actually going to put all these bets down and see exactly how we did on our picks, because I got a couple of DMs asking us, well, how come you're not, showing your last week's performance on your picks? And we're going to start doing that. I guess I could do it now, but I'm too fucking lazy to write them down, to be honest. But Paul Martinez in our chat, he says Tampa Bay Bucks over the Bills. And I'll be honest with you, Paul's been picking a lot of upsets right here on the show. He's been picking them, and I saw him on another show.
Paul's been wrong too, just like he was wrong about the Dolphins and the Eagles. That's domination right there. Paul don't see it yet.
Oh, you remember that one? But he has picked a couple upsets. He says Buccaneers could pull off the upset tomorrow. I'm going to go with the safe, the Buffalo Bills, -9, that they definitely passed that spread. All right, Sin City Cynic says, Bengals 28-1. You won't see better odds for them to win the Super Bowl, even if they lose to the Niners this weekend. Buy now, hedge later. So he is definitely banking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving on to Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Is it 10 a.m.? I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Actually, a smaller spread, Drew. And you guys, maybe it had to do with the fact that you guys had to go into overtime to beat this team. But y'all got their number, right? Y'all can beat this team with your eyes closed, with your second strings.
I'm going to look at it like this. Sam Howell's been horrible since that game.
Isn't he the guy who gets consistently sacked? Number one.
Yeah, but like he's been horrible since that game. And I'll be honest, like people are saying that he should be benched already. And it would save Ron Rivera's job if he benches him now and starts with Jacoby Brissett. I look at it like this. He was handed the job. He didn't have to compete in a competition. And I thought if you're signing someone like Jacoby Brissett, a veteran, you should, this is what you should do. Test that kid, give him the biggest test in winning the job over a veteran at training camp to prove that he's ready to take over. And they did not do that. And I'll tell you this right now, because I really think Jacoby Brissett would have won the job over Sam Howell and everything. But they picked Sam Howell and everything. Jacoby Brissett is the backup. But I'm saying this right now. I think Washington is getting blown out.
All right. You think the Eagles easily push the 6.5 points?
I think
double that.
I'm telling you this right now, Dave. I think the Eagles are going to blow them out, and I think the Eagles are going to show more. Are going to evolve even more now because as the season goes on, the Eagles play better and better and better and more complete football.
You know, Drew, do you know what this reminds me of? Excuse me, I almost wanted to laugh and cough at the same. True, we on Monday nights on the Shoe Shine, we saw Zalil Zhang and Joe Joyce, right? And they took that rematch 3-4 months later, and it was a really good first fight. You're saying that the Eagles are basically going to do what Zalil Zhang did to Joe Joyce in the rematch, that this time they're sparking him completely out.
I'm telling you this right now, Dave. I really don't think this is going to be that shootout close game. I think the Eagles are going to handily beat them. And I'm going with 35-13. And I'm telling you this right now, they hold another opponent under 300 yards total offense.
Okay. Well, this sounds like what we predict Tyson Fury to do to Ngannou this weekend in that massive pay-per-view, the heavyweight champion versus the UFC heavyweight champ. A complete ass whooping. By the way, I think Paul Martinez has a little bit of a hard-on for the Eagles losing because he says, again, that the Washington will win and rally themselves over Philly. At some point, Paul might just land one of these upsets on your team. All right, moving on. New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins that are still 5-2. Drew, I know you guys beat them. Dolphins they still got a lot of weapons. Is this one easy or close?
Division games are always hard for certain divisions and everything. I think the Dolphins beat the Patriots.
The spread is big, 9.5. Could be pushing 10 points come Friday. Do they cover the spread?
I think it may cover. I think the Dolphins beat them by 10.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the same one. We should do this parlay next week. We should actually do a parlay like our boy Derek does live on the air. I'll figure out how to get it on screen.
Yeah, I think it's a 10-point win for the Dolphins.
It should be easy against New England Patriots. I mean,
but they
they've been
came
horrible.
off beating Buffalo. They beat Buffalo last.
They got that momentum, but to beat the Dolphins, man, that would be a complete upset.
But here's the thing. I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be kept in check 2 weeks in a row. The Eagles are able to keep him in check and everything. And here's the funny part. Here's the crazy part. He had 10 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown, but the average was not there. He was kept in check. Even an undrafted rookie, when he was on Tyreek Hill for 4 times, he kept him in check. No catches, 3 targets. Eli Ricks is going to be a future player in Philadelphia. So I don't think it's going to happen twice with Tyreek Hill. I think they're going to win by 10 points and everything. And the game's in Miami. So.
All right. This next game reminds me of the great glory days of San Francisco doing games against the Oakland A's or the 49ers playing, in divisional games with the Raiders, because the Jets are taking on the Giants. And the Giants have been kind of a laughingstock team, Drew, but I'm actually thinking the Giants are going to pull this one off against the Jets. But they've got this game really, really close. The Jets are a -3 favorite. The Giants +3. You just was talking about divisional games, but this one isn't. This one, what do you think about this game, Drew?
I think the Jets are going to beat the Giants. I think the Giants are just. They are who they are. They're not that good of a team.
Sometimes, Nando, sometimes the way I have my mouth gets jumbled and shit, I think, damn, am I going to get early onset dementia, Alzheimer's? Because some nights, man, it's like if I don't get enough sleep, I just jumble all my words. That's why I can't get a job as a professional broadcaster. Not with my fucking mush mouth.
Like, I don't know. I just look at it like this, Dave. I first think the Giants are not that good of a team. I think the Jets have more to offer, and I think the Jets pull this off and everything. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna actually take the New York Giants +3, and hopefully I'll have some of that Paul Martinez upset magic. Following that game, let's go here to the LA Rams versus the Dallas Cowboys. I'm starting to get a little worried, Drew, because the 49ers easily dominated and looked like a Super Bowl quality team when they dominated the Cowboys. But I think the Cowboys have a lot left in them, and I think they're always dangerous. And they're looking more dangerous now, Drew.
I'm picking the Cowboys this week, but I'll tell you the truth right now. I think the Cowboys are not as good as people think they are.
Well, you would think so from what we saw against the 49ers, but
their defense was fully exposed. They were exposed against Arizona. Let's just say that. They were fully exposed against Arizona. Dak Prescott is an interception machine. Dak Prescott, I don't know, man. Like, I think that, I don't know. I just don't think the battle injuries on defense and everything. But I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Rams. And so,
So that would put them at 5-2 at the end of the week. At 5-2, that's the Niners record now. it's like I said, they're keeping in contention to potentially be a wild card team this year. And then they get the bye, don't they?
But
or they
I
had a
look at
bye
it like
already.
this. I look at it like this. If they, I don't know, like Dallas, we don't like. Here's the thing. This has not been overall dominance by Dallas at all, because tell you the truth, they made a lot of mistakes. They should have never got rid of Amari Cooper. They should have never re-signed Michael Gallup to that big contract coming off an ACL tear. They should have kept Amari Cooper and just let Gallup walk and everything.
Well, the Cowboys absolutely should beat the 3-4 Rams. If they don't, they could be as bad as Drew makes them out to be, especially if Dak chokes. If he chokes, Prescott chokes this weekend. I'm going to go with the LA Rams upsetting the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. And let me write that down, as a matter of fact. Rams upset the Cowboys. All right, by the way, should the Cowboys lose to the Rams, oh, man, you would make $220 on your $100 bet. All right, moving on to the Vikings that surprisingly and shockingly beat my team, the San Francisco 49ers. Drew, are the Vikings a decent team? I mean, after what we saw last Sunday? Green Bay Packers, it's a very tight spread. -1 for the Vikings, +1 for Green Bay Packers.
I think they beat Green Bay. I think Green Bay is really the Jair Alexander is probably not going to play. The best players are not going to play. So if you look at it, I think Green Bay's heading towards a downward spiral and everything. They just don't have the weapons and everything. I think them ill affording to draft wide receivers in the first round for Aaron Rodgers or get somebody at that time really turn out to haunt them in the now with Jordan Love as the quarterback now. So
both teams with 4 losses too.
I think the Vikings win this. They're going to be 4-4 and everything, and they're going to be somewhat back in this wild card chase and everything. But they still don't have Justin Jefferson. But they're back to 4-4 after this win.
Well,
so
I know my buddy Speech will be real happy just to be able to say they're playing 500. He's already ragging on me about that win last week, Vikings versus 49ers. All right, Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers. I agree with you on that, and that's a very close spread. I'll take the -1 spread for the Vikings. All right, this next game, man, Drew, Jacksonville Jaguars, I hate to admit, are playing fairly well considering Lawrence is not 100%, Drew. They're taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one it's a close spread at -2.5. I think they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers by a way more than that.
I really think they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really like their defense is starting to come alive.
Yeah.
They got weapons.
You hear that, Johnny? I'm actually giving your team some props here.
I'll be honest with you. I have actually the Jacksonville Jaguars is the second best team in the AFC.
Jaguars.
And everything. I think they're the second best team in the AFC right now. So
damn.
But
there's a lot of stake here. Listen, they win this game, and if they win in impressive fashion, they're basically will be playing the San Francisco 49ers the week after. And it looks like beginning of November, we play the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to have a bye week, but we could be coming into that game with a potential 3-game losing streak against the Jaguars. And I told Johnny Savage to call the show tonight. I don't know where he is, but he has to call because he says he has a wager for me. So I got one for him too. So I think what I'm going to have him do is print out a picture of Jimmy G in a 49ers, like blow up a picture, and he has to make out with it on camera. What do you think about that?
I don't want to see that shit, Dave. Like, Dave, you're trying to get us for fucking copyright strike, man?
I got to think of a good bet. If you guys have a good bet, idea for me against a Jaguars fan.
I tell you this, man.
Yeah.
Do something that probably better film. Like maybe tell them to take like fucking saw like 5 fucking Viagra pills at the same time or something, man.
Like, oh man, he's like, a freak. That ain't punishment. I need to make him wear a 49ers jersey of some sort. I need to do something. And I got to be willing to do something if I lose too. So, you know what? Let me check the phone line. By the way, guys, if you guys want to tap in and call, the phone line is open, 702-710-3627. I guess we're both in agreement. Jaguars beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely take that -2.5 point spread right there. Falcons versus Tennessee Titans, Drew. Two teams I could give a shit about. But you say the Falcons got a good chance of coming back alive this season.
Falcons are going to win this game. Falcons got a top 5.
They're actually leading the division at 4-3.
They got a top 5 defense. I'm surprised too. They got a top 5 defense and everything. And they find ways to win. They could be ugly wins, but they find ways to win. And I think they beat the Titans. But Titans are really, and they're going to start the rookie quarterback probably they drafted in the second round this year. I think the Titans are
they're toast.
On the way to a rebuild.
Oh shit! And actually, they're not that bad, are they? They're going to start their.
They're fucking bad. Titans are fucking bad.
All right. Well, there you have it. Atlanta Falcons easily covers the -3.5 point spread. Houston Texans versus Carolina Panthers. This one is way too easy to call, and yet the sports book at DraftKings got it -3 favorites for Houston Texans. Carolina Panthers are absolute garbage, worst team in the NFL. Are they or are they not?
They are, and I'll tell you this right now, the Houston Texans are the biggest surprise of the NFL. 3-3. And I'll be honest with you, they're going to be 4-3. They're going to be above 500. And,
yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, they may win a wild card spot.
Will the Panthers eventually beat somebody this season?
Oh, they're going to beat somebody. They're going to beat somebody. And it may be a trap. They may be a trap game for one of these teams that are in the playoff race and everything. So they're going to beat somebody eventually.
On a bad night, they could beat anybody, huh? It's like boxing. On a bad night, any certain somebody could beat even a champion. All right, so moving on to New Orleans Saints versus the Indiana Colts. DraftKings has this at -1 favorite for New Orleans. This should be a close game according to them.
I'm picking the Saints.
Anybody else in here got the Saints? Anybody in the chat got the Saints for the upset? 3-4. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to lay my money on the Saints here, Drew. All right, Cleveland Browns absolutely have one of the best defenses. They proved that against the San Francisco 49ers, and they can continue to look. Their defense is really putting them in games, Drew. I was really impressed with how scrappy that team is. They're going to be playing Seattle Seahawks at 1 o'clock Sunday. A lot of people think this might be one of the more interesting games this Sunday.
They have the #1 ranked defense. But here's the thing. I'm picking Seattle here.
Seattle's, they're right behind the 49ers in our division at 4-2. They could potentially be 5-2, and the 49ers 5-3 at the end of this week.
And they were my pick in the beginning of the year to win the division. So I'm picking Seattle. I really think Seattle is right now a better team than the Seahawks. I mean, the Browns. And I think that quarterback situation is too inconsistent and everything. I'm picking Seattle. I think Seattle wins this by at least 10.
The sportsbook got them the -3.5 favorites. Man, I'm going to be completely biased here. I think Cleveland Brown upsets the Seattle Seahawks. I think they do it. I think that defense is completely motivated with what they did to the 49ers. I think they can pull off this upset. Anybody in here think the Browns can upset Seattle Seahawks? I think I see Paul says Seattle. But I'm going to lay my money with the Cleveland Browns. All right, now we get on to, let's see here. My arch nemesis, the Kansas City Chiefs, almost undefeated, just like you, Drew. Almost a no-brainer against the Denver Broncos. They are the negative points by a touchdown, -7. favorites against the Denver Broncos. I think they cover that way more than that. 10 points, 14 points.
Yeah, this is too easy to call. Denver's not good at all.
And what's Denver going to do about the quarterback situation?
I'm telling you this right now. I think Denver is got to unloading, and I think Denver's going into rebuild mode. I think they're going to have to find a way to move on from Russell Wilson. And I don't think Sean Payton is trying to be there for a rebuild. So nothing's going Denver's way when it comes to making the trades.
At 2-5, Paul says Denver's pulling off the massive upset, an unheard of upset against the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Boy, let's just see what that pays. Let's see here. 310. That's going to $100 bet makes you $250 there if you go with the money line on that one. Baltimore Ravens versus the horrible Arizona Cardinals. This one is way too easy to call. A -8 spread favorite. Ravens, Drew, I think they do way better than that too.
Yeah, Cardinals are not good. Even though they've been in some games and everything, they got to upset one over Dallas. They're not winning this. I should have added Jonathan Gannon to that hot seat list because I think he's going to be a one-and-done coach, in my opinion. I should have added him on there, too, because they're 1-5. Yeah, I think the Ravens handle the Cardinals.
Yeah, easily 10 points or more. This brings us to my 125 game, the game I'll be watching Sunday. Wait a minute. Damn it. I'm supposed to go to a car show. All right, y'all. This Sunday, I got invited, that people that follow my channel, you guys know that I've been actively trying to vlog more and show what my life is like now in Las Vegas. I got invited Sunday to the Great Taco and Tequila Festival in Las Vegas, Drew, this Sunday. And they got one of the most famous Mexican musicians, Ramon Ayala, will be, he's a fantastic accordion player, norteño music. He's the headliner. I got invited to that. And Sunday's the only day they're doing the Lowrider show. Now, as a 49er fan, I feel like I should be watching the game at 1 o'clock and not going to this festival. But if Brock Purdy's not going to play, well, shit, I might as well go out there and film the damn festival, right? I mean, if Brock Purdy's not going to play, hate to say it, but why sit around and watch that game? And I'm probably not the best Niners fan. Cincinnati Bengals are not favored to win. And that's with, it's a plus 3.5 for the Bengals, -3.5 with Brock Purdy on concussion protocol, with Deebo Samuel's out, with Trent Williams out, with McCaffrey not really being 100%. Guys, McCaffrey, the MVP leading player, potential MVP leading player, was held to just 3 yards per carry. Yes, he got a touchdown. Yes, he had a receiving touchdown, Drew, but there's something off with him. His oblique, it's obviously his run game has been affected. This guy who almost carries, 5 yards per carry, now being held to about 3. There's even talks, I'm seeing that McCaffrey, if Purdy doesn't play, that he might be sit out this game and just wait for the bye week and fully heal up and come back. Why potentially get injured? I don't advocate that, but, I wouldn't hate on him. If his own quarterback can't play, how good are your chances? I don't know. He's probably a warrior. He's a badass, dude. He's a warrior. He's going to play injured and all. What do you think, Drew? 49ers got a chance without their star system quarterback?
I'm picking Bengals.
Drew's picking the Bengals. Let me know how you guys. I know there's some 49er Bang Bang Niner Gang fans in here, guys. We're up against a tough call here against Burrows with what's his name? Darnold? Sam Darnold? I don't see it. I didn't see our coach was saying how well he did in preseason. I didn't see that. I'm nervous. There's a lot of 49er fans. You go on the forums and chats and the Facebook groups and all that stuff. They're very, very, very nervous. So, damn. Yeah, with Purdy out, I would probably have to say the Bengals got this game. I'm looking at potential reset for the team. They got to go, rest up and see what happens in the second half of the season when we potentially could be at 5-3 after Sunday. But Paul says, hey, we got to ride with the Niners die hard. I know, but I'm just giving my betting pick. Even as biased as I am, I got to say I'd have to lay the money on the Bengals. All right, that brings us to Chicago Bears. And you know what? Drop me some hate. Drop me a comment if you think I'm a shitty Niners fan. I could be a worse fan. Really, there's Niner fans that don't even know who the quarterback is. Oh, I'm not Niners. I'm like, oh yeah, who's the quarterback? I don't know, Montana. All right, Raiders versus Detroit Lions, Drew, at 5:00. Jimmy G's back, and they're still not favored against a very, very good team. But this is a tough challenge. Detroit Lions, Jimmy G's going to be rusty. Now, I said he could pick up some wins, but a rusty Jimmy G is a Jimmy G that potentially is going to be throwing some picks, potentially throwing 2 interceptions. What do you think? You're shaking your head.
I think the Lions are going to blow them the fuck out.
Yeah, and actually the sportsbook got them at a -8. I see my cousin in here. What's up, Primo? He says Purdy is out. Yeah, that's it. That's what we've been reading, man. Purdy's on concussion protocol, and he did throw those 2 interceptions after being hit in the helmet. So that doesn't look good for us Niners fans. But Drew, you say the Raiders are getting blown out.
Yeah, they're getting blown out.
The Lions easily push that spread, -8.
Yeah, I think the Lions easily beat the Raiders.
All right, even Paul Martinez says Lions over the Raiders. Wow. Yeah, Raiders have been having it tough, man. That would put them at 3-5 for this season. I don't know. My bold claim that they might have the potential to make that wild card at 3-5. I better rethink that. Chicago Bears versus the LA Chargers. Also a spread that's -8.5 for the Chargers to decimate the Bears. Are the Bears that bad, Drew?
Where's the game at, anyway?
Actually, I don't know where this game is at. They don't say here. Why would that make a difference?
I'll tell you the truth. I'll be honest with you. I go right now. Look, come on. I got my fucking phone.
If anybody knows, drop it in the chat right now.
I'll be honest. I don't know why the fuck it's an 8:20 game and everything. I'm going Chargers. Chargers are a home team, man. I like if they lose to the Bears at home, they're not doing shit this year. The Chargers. There's no chance of them coming back.
Yeah. Shout out to anybody who watches is a longtime Chargers fans. I know we got a lot of San Diego fans that support the shoe shine. So, Drew, you're going with the Chargers over the Bears?
Go Chargers.
All right. There's only just a couple games left here. Wow, this last game. Actually, no. What day is this game? That's it. That looks like that's it. Who's playing Monday night? What am I seeing here? I'm seeing Monday night is the Raiders versus Detroit Lions, guys. My bad. October 30th. The Raiders are the Monday night football game, Detroit Lions, and that's all the games. We wrapped them all up in about 1 hour. Sin City Syndicate says the entire league is crap about now. Yikes. Final thoughts, Drew?
I'll be honest with you. I really think that there are some teams that are breaking away, and some teams that are, teams that aren't been as good as they are last year, and people's opinions have changed of certain teams and everything. But I'm going to be honest with you right now. Here's my final thought right now. Jalen Carter, the rookie defensive tackle that was drafted number 9 overall by the Eagles, is the best defensive lineman in the NFL. Point blank. And I'm not saying that because I'm an Eagles fan. It's fucking true. He's going to be a Pro Bowl, All-Pro defensive tackle this season in his rookie year. He's been on a fucking tear. He's been destroying. He's been a nightmare for offensive linemen. He's been getting at quarterbacks like crazy and everything. I'm telling you, man, the baby Rhino is the best defensive lineman in the league. And tell you the truth, it might not even be that close.
All right, guys. As a San Francisco diehard 49er fan that picked the Bengals, listen, guys, I'm not saying that the task of beating the Bengals without Purdy is as tough as Ngannou defeating Tyson Fury. It's not that. It's not that bad. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely. It's near impossible. But if the Niners can pull it off without Brock Purdy, who some say is just a system quarterback, if everybody else that is healthy can contribute and beat the Bengals this Sunday, then quite honestly, Drew, I like their chances against the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC playoffs. And I also like their odds against anybody in the AFC. If they show up injured like this and still beat the Bengals and go into that bye week and rest up and come back with Deebo Samuels at the second half of the season and a healthy Brock Purdy with no concussion, I'm liking my odds.
Let's even make it look worse for them if they beat them with Sam Donald.
Yeah. And two teams I would love to see lose this weekend. Kansas City Chiefs and the Jaguars. That's my final thought.
Tell you the truth right now, people are saying earlier in the season that the Niners are going to come to Philly and beat them. No, the fuck they're not. Not happening now, man.
All right, guys.
You the truth. It might be blowout city again.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You better hope Purdy's hurt. All right, guys. It's been a great show. Don't forget this weekend, if you're into that stuff, Tyson Fury will be fighting the former UFC MMA champion in Ngannou on a massive pay-per-view all the way from Saudi Arabia. And we'll be talking about that next Monday on The Shoe Shine. We'll see you guys next Monday, if you're so inclined, on The Shoe Shine at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Peace out, Drew. Have a great week, everybody. Later.